welcome everybody on this talk. Thank you for joining me. This talk is going to be on the third eye and how we can use it to protect our energy, to strengthen our energy, and also to cleanse our energy. So I'm going to speak a little bit about myself. I will also talk about Clair Vision Meditation School, which I'm a student of, about the model of subtle bodies, and also about the third eye, which really is like the switch of the body in energy, and that's why we can use it for protection. I'm a practitioner, an entity clearer practitioner for some 15 years. I've done thousands of hours of IST therapies. The Clair Vision School, it's International School of Meditation. There is the link to the webpage, clairvision.org. It really offers an in-depth training, and it's like a fellowship of students. We help each other to make this meditation work. And there are different techniques or meditation techniques. IST therapy, it's a technique of releasing emotional charges, and many other techniques to awaken our subtle perception. We are, after the meditation, at the highest level. We want to experience states of consciousness that are our birthright, not just silencing our mind. And the greatest value of the school really is the maturity of its students. It was founded some 36 years ago by our teacher, Sagan, medical doctor. He has already left his body in 2016 and is continually inspiring us in our spiritual quest together with other spiritual beings that are with us. Okay, this model of subtle bodies was the topic of the thesis doctorate of our teacher Samuel Sagan back in the 80s, in the previous century. It was possible to do something like that in the medical university in Paris, France. He spoke fluently Sanskrit and was a translator for various Indian teachers and masters. And while doing that, he really got to know this vast knowledge on subtle bodies. And he decided to do a thesis on that, and he made his doctorate with honors. So what is this subtle bodies model really about? It's based on the model of Rudolf Steiner, and it just helps us to understand what our subtle bodies are made of. You know, we all know about our physical body. You know, it's the thing that we can touch, or at least we think we know a lot about it. Okay, there is still a lot to be discovered about that. But then there is a layer of etheric. That's the layer if we would, you know, just brush our hands, palms together. You can, of course, I invite you to try it immediately. If you do that, you might feel something. Your etheric body, the layer of life force. So the tingling. You can't really see it with your eyes, you know, at least not with your physical eyes. You can definitely sense it with your subtle body organs, you know, feel it with your third eye. Nowadays, the etheric layer of life force is usually squeezed under the pressure and the weight of the astral body. So what is the astral body? If we were able to feel the etheric as a tingling, we can't really touch or say, okay, this is the astral body. But we definitely have all experiences of feeling it. You know, when you enter in a room and there are people, and if they were just fighting before we entered, or they are angry, or if they are sad, we are going to feel that. You know, so we know. We don't have to see and hear things, in able to perceive the energy, the atmosphere in the room, and also to perceive the astral body, the qualities of the astral body. So what is the astral body? This is the layer of emotions and the mind. This is also the layer of our wantings, our wounds, samskaras, the scars of the mind, and of different characters. If you love your job, you definitely have a professional character. What that means that you dress in a specific way, you behave in a specific way, you talk in a specific way. At the moment, I'm in my lecturer character. So I talk in a specific way. I would have some gestures. So This is the way my astral body works, and we each have our own astral bodies, our own wantings, desires, characters. The astral body really acts as a cloud that obscures our higher selves, which is in this model the ego, the roof of this fourfold model. The ego, capital E, stands for the higher self. And this is the layer of self-awareness. So we many times in life mistaken our emotions and thoughts that this is who we are, but it's not. And when we incarnate, when we travel to Earth, we wear this astral, it's like a coat we put on depending on how planets are positioned. So the astrological chart is like a map of our astral body. And then we incarnate on Earth, and then when we are very young, we are much more in contact with our higher self. But then as we grow up, as we incarnate more, we are more in our astral body, and suddenly some traumas, past life traumas come up, traumas from the beginning of this life. So what are some skaras? The scars of the mind. These are the imprints. Something happened this life or in past life, and something really imprinted with this event in our energy. So for example, we had a car accident. We were driving our car, certain area, something happened. And when the car accident happened, there was an imprint in our etheric and in our astral body. So whenever we drive by in that same road, we will feel uncomfortable. We will feel triggered. And this, it's conscious. We've known, because we were grown-ups when this accident happened. We know about this accident, and still we can't always help ourselves. But now imagine when you are very young, when you don't even understand why things are happening around you, when bad things happen, like, I don't know, not getting even the food that you need, or the care, or the love that you need to grow up, then these things are going to be suppressed in our astral body, but we will feel the consequences of that. We will feel like there's something wrong with us, that we don't fit in there, that we are not loved. So all these may come out as a consequence of certain samskaras, imprints of these events happening at a time when we are not yet aware of ourselves. We could not yet explain to ourselves why these things are happening. We are at the moment talking about the part of us that is eternal. So we are talking about the ego, capital E, which would stand for that roof on the model. And these are the qualities that are not conditioned by what is happening around us. So we feel elevated, there is hope, there is joy, we feel enthusiasm. Sometimes we feel these qualities of our higher self. We fall sick, somebody dies, suddenly we feel things that we haven't felt before, things that are really important, things like, the truth, the integrity. We definitely felt these qualities when we were growing up, but some never really grow up. So we are all still very curious, and we full of wonder. So all these qualities of our higher selves, they do not depend on things that are happening around us, and they are with us all the time. But unfortunately, they are kind of clouded by the layer of astral body. Okay, so with this work, when we explore those wounds or blockages and samskaras, we will encounter the qualities of the higher self. Whenever we open, we are in our higher selves. I'm going to say a bit more about the third eye. So the third eye is the gate that leads inside. It's really the traditional entrance into the inner realms. Sometimes people ask me, why don't we enter through the heart? It's because the third eye brings this certain objectivity and is less burdened by the woes and the beauties of our lives. In the Indian tradition, this is called the Ajna Chaksu, the eye of knowledge, the inner teacher. It's the entrance towards the inner knowing. In the Buddhism, is presented as a jewel on the forehead of the Buddhas. In the Western esoteric literature, there is a famous saying of Matthew where he said, "The light of the body is the eye. If therefore thy eye be single, thy whole body shall be full of light." So not just in the Eastern tradition, there's also in the Western esoteric literature, you will find mentions of the third eye or the eye as the one eye. And another example is in Neoplatonism in the 3rd century. And he said, when being asked how the soul returns back to the state of union with the self, he said, "Not with a carriage, not with a boat, but by closing our eyes and awakening in the different realms, which is in each of us, but only few recognize." We all are born with the open third eye, but because we are not using it, it kind of fades away in the background. That doesn't mean that it's still not there, it's just maybe not consciously used. For example, we would enter a shop or a passage of a dubious energy and atmosphere. Our energy would automatically densify. There is really this inner knowing, inner intelligence. So we are very well equipped to take care of ourselves. The problem is that we usually don't listen to that. We get the feeling, oh, this is toxic. But then maybe we have to go there. We need to go through that passage. Somebody invited us there. We need to go to that bathroom. So we would override these inner alarms that we feel. Our energy really knows that this is not good for us. And then we would go into that place and we would catch some bad energy. We would feel drained at the end. So it will not end well for us. Okay, so even if you haven't awakened your third eye, if you haven't worked on your third eye, there is a lot of intelligence in your etheric body. Just by trusting it, listening to it, it will strengthen. Okay, how can we awaken the third eye? How can we get to the stage where we can protect, strengthen, and cleanse our energy really awarenessly? So there is like a curriculum, a pathway in the Clairvision School of Body of Knowledge, shared and put together with many people over many years, mapping diligently, observing what's working, what's not working. So these techniques have been put together with experience. So they are alive in each of us when we are using them. The best way to awaken the third eye is by attending a workshop. It takes at least 2 days to awaken the third eye, to start to learn the meditation of the third eye, to continue awakening your third eye. So it's like a living knowledge passed on from the teacher then to the participants of the workshops through osmosis. So first thing that we do is really awakening the third eye, and then we practice this with the third eye meditation. It's happening with the lying down practice, and it's done with the music. The music goes beyond the mind and accesses these subtle organs, and the third eye is one of those organs, awakens it, and it's like a beginning of the subtle body building. And then we do practices to awaken the vision. So the first part of protection, besides the basic things as having enough sleep, resting, getting good food, besides these basic things of taking care of ourselves, the thing that will really make a difference in terms of protection is to develop your vision. So the vision of the third eye really also rests on the vision of the heart. When we want to see things, we add also awareness in the heart, so that the objects, the people, the plants, they soften, they open so that we can really see them for what they are. When it comes to the protection though, we are going to combine the vision of the third eye with the awareness in the belly. The way to start is to awaken your third eye and then place the awareness at the third eye and at your belly at the same time. This will immediately densify your aura. Yeah. Of course, there are other benefits that will happen when you awaken your third eye. So this talk is focused on protection and how to strengthen your energy, how to move energy along your meridians, how to get rid of unwanted energies. But there are many other benefits. You know, when you awaken your third eye, when you are in the space of the third eye, there is something that happens with your etheric body. So you're in the space of self-healing. Energy starts to move in your etheric. If you have blockages, they're going to move, they're going to soften up. So even if you're not consciously moving the energy along the meridians in your body, things are going to start moving. And we have the saying, let it move. And we can also consciously being aware in the third eye, and by just massaging the meridians, we can make our energy move. And when we practice this, when we master this, we can move out the energy from any place in our body that shouldn't be there by placing awareness in the third eye and using the technique of channel release, moving this, I would say, blockage or perverse energy from the meridians and pushing out of your energy. So this is one other good use of the third eye and awareness of your meridians. So perceiving and moving energies along the meridians. How about the cleansing? What else can we do? There is one beautiful technique that you can all try after this call. You just put your sleeves, and you let the water run on your lower part of your arms, okay? And you do this practice for at least a minute, and you just let the water run. And when the water is going to run down your arms, we want the water to be cold. It's going to freshen you up. It's going to cleanse the meridians of all of our body. So how is it possible? We are not taking a shower. We are just, using the water running on our arms. Well, the meridians, the energy around the meridians is circulating on our body. In that minute or 2 minutes you're going to be doing this practice, the energy is going to circulate around your body and your whole body is going to feel refreshed. You can always use this technique after a meeting, after working with a client, after coming out of a shopping center, after having a difficult conversation with somebody, after feeling drained, after any sort of event. It's a very practical technique. And definitely after the dowsing, for example, this is one of other techniques we're going to learn on the Awakening of the Third Eye workshop. Okay, there's really lots of techniques that are resting on the perception of the third eye. With your physical eyes, the only thing we see is the physical layer of the subtle bodies, so the physical layer. If we want to know more, we need to have a non-physical organ of perception, and that's what the third eye is. It's going to extend your vision and perception into the layer of etheric and into the layer of the astral. Yes, so it's like opening of the whole new world and a perception of non-physical realms. So can you see angels? Can you feel angels with your third eye? Absolutely. they do not have the physical body. So you cannot see them or perceive them with your physical eyes, but you can feel them. You can sense them with your etheric and with your third eye. Okay. All these things are being taught on this weekend workshop of the awakening of the third eye. And it's really not just about experiencing those things in the meditation. The very important thing is to bring this technique into the life. And there is a concept called dynamic awareness, which means that we are not just doing the meditation and being in the third eye during meditation, but we are bringing awareness in the third eye into our different activities in life. So what are the different situations in life that we can use the third eye? In terms of having an energy open or closed, so the opening is really when we are with people, so we are in the third eye and in the heart, when we want to see auras of objects, plants, animals, beings. It's when we are creative, for example, dancing, cooking, when we are making love. So when we are open and we want to feel more, we are more receptive. So we can consciously go with our awareness into the third eye and into the heart. When we are in other type of situations, like with masses of people, going for a concert, driving on a bus, where we are working, especially if we work as a therapist, when we are traveling, visiting, when we are suddenly finding ourselves in a strange place with strange vibrations, in situations of crisis, then we want to be in our third eye and in our belly. We want our energy to be dense. We don't want to be wishy-washy. We want to really be here, completely present, incarnated. And the third eye is a way for us to be very present, particularly if we add the awareness in the belly. Okay, so I would call it a warrior mode. Okay, when I work with clients, I would be in my heart, but at the same time, my energy would feel very dense. So there is no reason to not be at these two places at the same time. So some people think, okay, if your energy is dense, you can't be at the same time also open or in the heart. This is not true. So it's completely possible. So you are dense in your energy. You don't let things come to you and stick to you, but you still can stay very open. So when you travel, or I'm sure all of you had experiences like that, you rent a room, you rent an apartment, and then, well, what to do? How to make sure that, when during night your energy completely opens, and it's so easy to catch the energy of that place. Before you, other people were there. Particular case like this is like going to the swimming pool, where people leave their energy there and then other people come and they pick them up. So we are constantly exchanging energies with the world. In apartments, in our home, bathrooms, swimming pools, working situations, walking down the street, driving with a bus, what to do. It's really about trusting your perception, and when feeling the need, when feeling that something is uncomfortable, to put awareness in the third eye and in the belly, to densify your energy. And then when you can, pop into the bathroom, wash your hands, take a shower, change your clothes. They are like clear modes that we can establish in our life as a good practice in a completely preventative way, so that we don't even have to clean the toxic energy from our body. There are ways to work, to behave, to take certain precautions that is purely preventative. If you're working as a therapist, I'm going to use again my example. You want to definitely vacuum clean the space before you're going to work in it. Say you're renting a place. So first thing you want to do, you want to vacuum clean the place. It's the same if you want to sleep somewhere. You vacuum clean the place and you really presence the place with your presence. You bring your energy there. You own that room. You make it yours. Okay? It's like you get, by vacuum cleaning and putting your energy there, you position yourself there. You can light some candles. There are a few things you can do. I also space clear the room that I work with using some special bells to do that. I would clap. There's many things we can do. But really, sometimes the places would be nice and welcoming. There's not much needed to be done. Just a vacuum cleaning and you can start working. Yeah. So what do we do when we finish working, when we leave that place? So we vacuum clean, we space clear the place, and we really want to leave the place as we got it, or a little bit better. There's many more approaches, really depending on situation. I would like to invite you to share about your experiences, or maybe you have questions. Jeanette is sharing. The question is if bad dreams is part of catching negative energies. I once had this in an apartment I rented. I also didn't feel rested the morning after. Thank you for your question, Jeanette. This is going to open a whole new topic now. We tend to have bad dreams when we sleep on the earth line. That happens often. It's like the first sign that something is wrong in that room, that place, or in the positioning of that bed. Okay? So there are such things as meridians of the earth that are beneficial for earth but are not good for human beings or animals, except certain animals and certain plants that really love them. But if we sleep on an earth line, it's going to affect us. Particularly if it's a toxic earth line, for a longer time, we would fall sick. Even really serious diseases. If we stay just for one night or for a shorter period, things can come out as the nightmare or feeling drained in the morning, but definitely is not supportive. One thing that is important with this is to study, learn about the energies in the places where we live, where we move, where we work, and let them support us, not work against us. And how we can do that is to simply learn to use our perception, and we also learn how to dowse on that AT workshop, not because we want to become experts on dowsing and earth lines, but because we want to find good spots and avoid the toxic spots. We want to find a place to meditate that will support us. So we use our perceptions so that the environment that we live in supports us, not harms us. I have been recently in an experience because of the floods that I had to move out of the house because the environment was toxic for me. I had to move out for 3 weeks and coming back after a certain time, and after a lot of work of cleansing and space clearing rituals, I was able to come back and live and sleep and stay there again. If the environment is not supportive for you, you have to act on that. It's a very important experience for me. Are there any other things or experience that you would like to share? maybe from traveling, or I don't know, or working with clients?
I have an experience not actually with clients, but more like with people we meet when we socialize. When somebody comes to me and I actually felt that the person is not okay with me, that I would rather not socialize with them. But then if I let them persuade me to do it anyway, it always turns out bad. Yes, this is what I have learned from meeting people, to trust what you feel when you encounter people. If somebody is not okay with you, for you, better not to interact with them again.
Thank you, Teika, for sharing this with us. It's really precious, and it takes a while to learn, right? So to trust what you perceive, and then it builds with time. Anybody else wants to share any experience on that line? I mean, also traveling with trains or buses, or going to a concert, or working with clients. I could definitely share some of the experiences where I was feeling either not well, or working at the wrong place. It would really drain me, or it would also cause, for me to catch the energy from my clients. So if not in top form, we shouldn't be exposing ourselves. We are not helping us, and we are not helping anybody else. We need to be really clear on these things. Yeah. Dushana, you have any experience on working with clients or sleeping in different places? How does that work for you?
I do. Before I started clairvision work, I had no idea. I knew that there are some energies and stuff is happening and we can catch stuff, but I was completely not aware. I had no idea what to do, how to do. I had no idea that I feel something. Like I felt a lot, but I just didn't know what to do with that stuff or what I really feel. And then clairvision techniques saved my life, because summer I'm really super sensitive person, so I constantly feel things. I feel people, I feel energies, I feel spaces in the rooms and stuff. So for me, learning these techniques really helped to manage my life completely differently. So now when I come somewhere, like a few weeks ago, I was in my apartment and it took me like half an hour, just to vacuum clean and clean a bit and then put the candles and mattress in the bedroom. And the room was like the whole apartment felt completely, it was completely different space, after half an hour of work. And then also the same with the travels, I love to travel, but it's so exhausting for me. So now when I travel, I'm really aware of third eye, really aware in my belly. I have to be very present, in these situations, really being in the body.
Thank you, Dushana.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just reminds me how during the flood there was a whole layer of etheric, and that came up with the mud. This house was flooded, and I was just being my usual self, my morning meditation where I would spread and open. And after doing this for a couple of days, I really felt sick. I had a headache. My energy was completely wiped out, and I needed 3 weeks of work to pull it all out of my system, together with the other practitioners that helped me do that. So it's really, when we do things by default, there is a problem. So I'm not saying all these things for you to be afraid, or fear really is not helping us here. But what helps us to focus and let this maybe motivate you to develop your perception, to awaken, your third eye, and then see for yourself, and then trust your vision and use your knowledge. It's just really, you do it with awareness. Before, it's up to a chance, you do it, you don't do it. We learn certain things, but there's so many more things that we could have been doing. So you really enlarge your life, enlarge the awareness of things, and then you're onto it. You don't have to be afraid of things because you perceive them. The problem is when we don't see things. And then God knows what's happening with our energy. We just, weeks later figure out, oh, we are feeling bad, we are feeling drained. So I really would like to encourage you with the developing perception. So Jeanette is writing on the thread that a week ago she was around a woman that was sick, and suddenly I felt sick and wobbly. Luckily, I could go into the garden and ground myself in the lawn. Thank you for sharing. This is a precious experience. These things really help. There is a vast knowledge on this topic, how you can help yourself. These simple things as grounding, as Jeanette just said. There's so many great suggestions you can use and written in the book Awakening of the Third Eye from Samuel Sagan. He talks a lot about the protection there, and really working now with these techniques for 17 years. These things, they come to me when they're needed. There is a knowing. There is an intelligence of the third eye. My third eye opens when it's needed. My etheric seals when it's needed. We don't have to be worrying about the protection, but we should focus on perception, on vision, on seeing things exactly how they are. Not just going like this, closing our eyes. It's going to be fine, it's going to be fine, it's just for 5 minutes. But really, no, if it's not good, it's not good. So we have to respect that, and then, it will support us. So the need for protection drops as soon as we develop the vision and awaken our etheric body. Like, it really comes on itself. And if we do catch a toxic energy or a perverse energy, we will know how to get rid of it on our own, or with help with a practitioner that is specialized for that. So there's always ways, to address things. But really, I would say it's a great art to learn how to be in harmony with our surroundings, and we let things support us rather than harm us. It's really about this navigation. And with this, I would like to finish this talk with this invitation. Hopefully, maybe I've motivated you a little bit, to awaken your third eye, to awaken your perception, and to step on this path yourselves. There will be a workshop in Ljubljana, Slovenia, in November. There are also other ways that you can do this work. By all means, it's not all in person, although in person I would totally suggest you, not just in Ljubljana, Slovenia. There are workshops like this happening all over the world, all over Europe. And really, it's all about see for yourself, know for yourself. So yeah, you're very welcome to try this yourself. And I'm really available for your questions.
Regarding the cleansing the space when you travel, when you arrive in a hotel, what else could help? Like lighting candles, or maybe also something else?
Usually travel with a bell and with the dowsing rods. So the bell to space clear the room, the dowsing rod to check for the lines. Or if you don't have anything of this, you can also just clap, use the sound, the strength. And if you don't have a vacuum cleaner, usually they don't leave it, in a hotel room. You can, you can clap, and then you just kind of offer the energy up. I would also use my own objects. I would use my cushion, if possible, my blanket, my clothes, and this would bring like an etheric layer where I open and sleep, and it would really hold my energy during the night. That's my strategy.
Great, thanks.
You're welcome.
Sometimes you find yourself in situations where you are amongst people within your close environment, like family, and things that you cannot easily change. Let's say I would change my family, or I will move out of my career, and you feel this toxicity, you feel this draining, And it's an ongoing situation. I mean,
Yes.
and you find yourself getting overboard, getting affected by all these. So I know this work helps you to deal with these situations, but what is your comment on that when you are with people that you cannot easily change your situation?
Yes. There is a way to really be dense, be present in your belly, and you don't let these things get to you. You still be in the heart. It's just a little bit training, like you come back again and again to your belly. What helps me is to put my palm, below the belly button, just to remind me, to be fully present. And mind you, I would often go and wash my hands during those times when I spend a lot of time with my family. It is helping. So don't hold back. It's not just for therapists or for extreme situations. It's in any kind of situation that you feel drained. You do this, it's like a reset. Remember, when the water runs, it enlivens your whole etheric. So you will feel very different after this practice. Let alone if you take a shower. That would be even better, So first be aware that you're in your belly, yeah, which is hard if you are reacting emotionally, right? But you ground yourself in your belly, and then when you can, wash your hands. That would be my 5 cents on that.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yes, actually, Katerina Kulitsa is in my mind. I do have the same, actually, question. How actually you could, living in, let's say, in a workplace that it's quite toxic. Everyone has the challenges in every days, and how can you kill, calm and your energy level at a calm, let's say, level.
Yeah. So, it's prevention. The prevention is to take care of your body of energy. So you have to have good rituals. For example, one good ritual would be meditate every morning for 15 to 20 minutes, be in the third eye. You're going to be a completely different person going to work like that than if you are jumping out of the bed, rushing to, to do things, So again, there is a perception. You are aware of yourself. You're filling up your batteries in the morning. Okay? You really build up like a protective layer in your etheric when you do that. So then when you go through the day, you're not going to get as hit as you would be without that. That, and again, awareness in the belly. It's working wonders. And it might not show up immediately, Panagiotis, but I know that if you give it a chance for a moon cycle, 1 month, regularly meditate on the third eye in the morning, add, awareness in the belly during the day at work, you're going to be a different person. You're going to notice this. Yeah.
You will see things in a very different perspective.
Absolutely. And you know what? If you meditate regularly, you will know in the morning already, oh, I need to do this, or, It's like you're really prepared. You are even warned in advance for certain things. Okay, today I really need to be in my belly. And then something happens, and then you say, oh, now I get it, So it makes sense.
Thank you.
Okay. If there are no more questions, let's leave it here.